Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Nienhuis. It is Monday afternoon, October 21st, and we're here at the Sheriff's Office with a little information about early voting as well as the penny sales tax referendum that's going on the ballot the end of October, the beginning of November. We're here at the Sheriff's Office, and you will be voting on a penny sales tax for Hernando County. Now, I'm certainly not going to tell you how to vote, but the county is responsible for providing the Sheriff's Office buildings. The Sheriff's Office doesn't own these buildings. They're owned by the county, but we're tenants of these buildings. And this particular administration building was actually erected in the early 1990s, and since then, the population has gone from about 120,000 to well over 200,000. Now you can see these lockers here behind me. These are not school lockers. These are actually evidence lockers that were in the original building in the early 1990s. And I want you to come with me. I'm going to show you a little bit about our property and evidence section and where that money would go if the penny sales tax is approved. Now, if it is not approved, it's still going to need to be added to the Sheriff's Office, so that money will probably come from property owners. Now, it's important to note that the experts are saying that if the sales tax is approved, about 30% of that revenue will actually be paid by people from outside the county visiting. So it's up to you whether you want that paid through sales tax or whether you want it paid through property taxes. But I think, as you'll see, we're going to need a little more space here, and we're going to be doing more videos over the next couple days to show you some things at the jail and maybe talk a little bit about a training facility that is slated for this money if it is passed. And it's, again, not something that's going to happen in the next year or two. It's going to be several years down the road. But come with me a moment. Now, this is our property and evidence section, and it is the same size as it was back in the early 1990s. Now, if you come forward a little bit, we have over 70,000 items here that they have to keep track of. Some of these items you actually have to hold for 99 years or 25 years after the death of the offender in murder cases. So some of this stuff we can destroy legally when the case is disposed of. Some of the stuff we have to keep. We also have things for safekeeping, like when somebody passes away, we may hold their guns and so forth until a family can come and collect them. So there's a lot going on in property and evidence. But as you can see behind me, and you can get a little closer view here, you can see that items are stacked to the ceiling. It is very, very difficult to keep track of all this. This is, again, over 70,000 items, and they are constantly taking things in and constantly destroying stuff. But as you can see, definitely more space is needed. Now we'll take a walk over to our forensic section. Now, this is our forensics unit, and you can see behind me in the back of the room here, there are a couple labs. Those labs are the same size as they were in the 1990s. We've done a little renovation there, but we can't make them any bigger. But you can see we have a lot more forensics techs than we did back in the early 1990s. And their cubicles are almost on top of each other. They have very little room to work. And of course, if they need to process evidence, there's only two small to medium-sized labs where they can actually process evidence. And sometimes they take in hundreds of items of evidence in one particular crime. So as you can see, they definitely need more space. Now, again, we'll go ahead and end this video, but a couple things that are important. You will be voting, if you're a Hernando County voter, you'll be voting on a 1-cent sales tax for Hernando County. That can only be used for capital projects, things like buildings and roads and so forth. And some of that money is allocated towards law enforcement, particularly for buildings only. And it'll be three main areas that it'll be focused on: the administration building for areas like forensics, property and evidence, our major case section. As a matter of fact, we have two major case sergeants now that are sharing an office that used to be a storage closet, so very cramped in here. The second item is for a training facility. We'll have another video about that. And last and certainly not least is the jail, which when the responsibility of the jail was given to the sheriff about 14 years ago, it was recommended that that jail be torn down. We've made it work for 15 years, but we definitely need to make some improvements in there, particularly with the mental health issues that we have to deal with every day. But again, the decision is totally up to you. We're going to have more space, and it's really a decision on the voters whether they want to pay for it out of property taxes or they want to pay for it out of sales tax. And again, if the sales tax, the experts are saying about 30% of that money will actually be generated by people who are visiting Hernando County from outside the county. As always, I'm Hernando County Sheriff Al Nienhuis. If you have any questions on that, you're welcome to call my office, speak to my assistant. We'll let you see this stuff firsthand. The reason I wanted to do this live video is because it's easy for me to come to a group and talk, but until you can see it yourself, it really doesn't hit home. As always, we certainly appreciate the support we have for law enforcement in Florida generally and in Hernando County specifically. Thank you.